Hello, everyone. I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing some updates to the Lightning Collection, the Donbrothers proper rollout, and some non-current stuff for a change, I think. But before all that, Buster, how are you doing this week?
Can mid be used to describe weeks, or is that too much like internet slang into real life?
I'm sure it has, but it's not something I expect, hence the giggle.
Yeah. I mean, it's been okay. I had my birthday. It was fine. Got money. It was nice.
Ooh, did you spend the money on things?
We'll see soon.
Whoa!
I did spend money on a lot of things, but like the two specific Toku items I did buy. We'll talk about them. How was your week, Mr. Vacuuminator?
My week was pretty rough one, but I'd be lying if I wouldn't say that things are feeling up at the moment. As Mondays go, this has been a pretty good Monday, I'll say.
Yeah, like even though I had to do some homework, it was surprisingly tolerable. Like this Monday.
Yeah. Watch Tuesday be utter garbage now.
Oh god. Tuesdays are like they can either be the worst day of the week or the best day of the week. There's no in between.
Yeah, it's a rough one, but I try to schedule myself to have as much free time for Tuesday as possible, just in case it is good. So we'll see.
Also to edit this podcast.
Mm-hmm. I usually edit it before I go to bed on Monday night.
Ah, I see.
Sometimes I'll be too tired and I'll put it off till the next night, but usually it's edited and scheduled before I go to bed on Monday night.
Yeah, I say like I think you start editing and then I think you just do the upload and rendering. So it's wrong.
It did used to be. We're doing a ton of inside baseball right now, but it did used to be that way. But like, I want to say within the last 3 months, I've been doing it the same night, just because it's like I'm already in the production mood, so let's just get it done.
Yeah, I feel like you sometimes I want to like be that with my videos, but I'm like, I just want to edit it right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, speaking of production and whatnot, this podcast is a production of Modular Media. We are a creative co-op that allows us to make all kinds of interesting stuff like podcasts and live shows. And if you want more of that, please support This Week in Toku by giving us a like and commenting on the video on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed to the Modular Media YouTube channel, please click that subscribe button and ring the bell in order to enable notifications and get every podcast we make as it comes out. We've got the Modular Media Wrestling podcast coming up this Thursday. Going to be a pretty interesting show considering this week on AEW Dynamite there's supposed to be a big debut on excuse me, on Friday we have the release of Components, and let's just say it's a pretty saucy episode, this week's Components. And then, of course, on Saturday, we have another episode of the No Prize podcast where we'll probably talk about more Peacemaker and some other shit. I don't know. But definitely support us for all of that. If you're listening on a podcasting platform, follow us there to help us out in that algorithm. And if you're listening and you want to be given updates and stuff on when the show is going to be coming out, do us a favor, follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media, and join the subreddit r/Modular Media in order to post memes and shit. But until then, we're going to go ahead and get into the news here. And the first bit of news is something that really should have been on last week's topic list, but it just completely slipped my mind, which is the fact that for the second time in 3 months, we are getting a price hike to the Power Rangers Lightning Collection lineup of figures. The basic figure price is now going from $22.99 to $24.99, with in amount of equal value being added to all the other prices, such as multi-packs and deluxes. This, of course, was first reported on by Yakface, who was, of course, reporting it for the Star Wars The Black Series lineup of figures, and then Marvelous News caught wind of it, checked in, found out it was going on for Marvel Legends, and then Lightning Fig PR, aka Living Ranger Key, found out the same information in regards to Lightning Collection, and it looks like this price hike is just going across the board for Hasbro Collector merchandise. I'm not sure about kids-aimed items, but it seems like pretty much every one of Hasbro's 6-inch scale collector figure lines is getting this price hike, and it's it's pretty yikes. I'm not gonna lie, fellow kids, because
Yeah,
it comes in the wake of in what was it, December or November? They went from 20.99 to 22.99.
it was November. Pretty sure it was November.
Okay. And it's pretty obvious why this is happening as it was last time, which is just that we're still in the middle of a global pandemic. There have been many port strikes and changings of staff and firings and hirings and all this, and that has led to the cost of getting a hold of materials, processing those materials, and shipping them out as action figures rising a whole heck of a lot, and so that's now starting to affect us, the consumers. And speaking as somebody who heavily collects a lot of Hasbro product, I do understand that. I do sympathize with that, and I get why that happens. However, I think it's pretty scuzzy that this is happening so quickly after the last price hike, especially when, and this is pure conjecture on my part, but I'm pretty sure this was originally going to be just one big price hike that they split up across the 2 years to make it feel a little better because speaking as somebody who works at a job where there's been a lot of discussion of the economy being affected by the pandemic, I know that's a tactic people will sometimes do. We don't want to have this conversation with you again next year, so let's do this change to this monetary value at the end of the year, and then we'll do another one of equal value at the beginning of the year so that we can just table this discussion for a whole 2 years. And quite honestly, if it's like my pay or something like that, I understand that and I'm cool with it. If it's something I'm being asked to pay for a product, that's really annoying to me. I really wish they would have just, if they had to, I wish they would have just gone straight from 20 to 25 at the same time rather than stretching it out like this. Because the last time we got a price hike like this, which was, I believe, from $17 to $20, was back in like 2018, 19, and the last time before that was like 2013, 14. And so these price hikes are just coming closer and closer together. And speaking as a figure collector, I feel like this is a really dangerous time for it to be getting so close together because the pandemic has really allowed for collecting to see this huge boom in popularity, so much so to the point where scalpers have become a major topic of conversation again. And the secondary market isn't being very friendly to new collectors. So the actual manufacturers of figures doing this is going to be perceived as just as unfriendly, and it could lead to a massive dip in collections becoming a thing, just as we saw a massive rise in them becoming a thing a few years ago at the start of the pandemic. But that's a lot of rambling from me on this, just being the very opinionated action figure collector I am. Buster, what's your take on all this?
I actually want to first confirm, yes, from at least Amazon prices, the basic line, which I mainly collect, is rising. Like, I've seen, like, Dino Fury figures go for, like, $15 at, like,
Mhm.
this was even before this price hike, so it's being weird. This was kind of signaling, before this happened. And, I understand a price hike. Two price hikes in the span of less than a year, especially less than 6 months, is very scummy.
Yeah,
That's
it,
not
it
great, man.
it just feels like a I wish there were a more elegant way to put it, but it feels like a middle finger to new collectors. Because there's, like I said, there's been a lot of people getting into the hobby in the last couple of years, but now we've very quickly gone from it being like $120 to get a wave, depending on where you got, to being like 200 close to $300 to get a whole wave of figures. And like if I'm a new collector, I'm gonna really pump the brakes on my purchasing and start picking and choosing. And that's speaking as somebody who does buy a lot, but I tend to also pick and choose a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I try like when I started collecting with Beast Morphers, because that's really the when I was a conscious person with money. When I started collecting like the Beast Morphers Season 1 toy line, I tried to go with completionist, but like I just couldn't. And so I had to start picking and choosing. And now, like, for, like, those who are, like, you might want to start with the Dino Fury line, they might have to start picking and choosing, too.
Or maybe you're going, oh, hey, Lightning Collection seems to be doing everything, or like it plans to get to everything. So I'm going to make that my Power Rangers figure line. You're now looking at that not just being really hard to navigate the secondary market for figures that have already been released that you want to get to now being like, I don't know if I can even afford to keep up with this wave to wave. My personal New Year's resolution actually was not to do pre-orders anymore unless it was a HasLab because that's the only way you can get a hold of those things. So like the main reason I do that is because it's really stressful to have to keep track of money with pre-orders and stuff. And like if I was still pre-ordering, this would have just like jackhammered into that stress way harder.
But I think, yeah, I mean, this could like be like an entire video or podcast of itself. But I think we need to move on.
Yeah, it's a whole mess of a thing, but we certainly have talked about it to death. Let's talk about something good Hasbro's done recently, which is that the Power Rangers SPD A Squad Pink Ranger was initially shipped with an inaccurate helmet design. There were several different sources confirming that I believe it's a fan channel exclusive figure. In the initial showing at the Fan First Friday had a correct reuse of the In Space Pink Ranger's helmet with new molding. And then when it finally shipped, for some reason, they used the A Squad Red Ranger's helmet, which has a different, but very slightly different visor angle. And a lot of people complained about this. A lot of people have been writing to Hasbro. And initially it looked like they weren't going to fix this, but they are now offering replacement helmets for your A Squad Pink Ranger, just as they did for the Walgreens exclusive Dino Thunder White Ranger a couple years ago now.
I have no opinion on this.
I think it's cool. I like that Hasbro is willing to go out of their way to help to right wrongs for collectors and whatnot. However, it's also interesting at just how inconsistent they can be on this, because they've done this for this figure and the Dino Thunder White Ranger figure, but like there's still MMPR red right there with the inaccurate silver visor trim.
Well, there's like 50. They're probably planning on making so many variants. They're like, well, fix it in a new release.
Yeah, definitely. But let's move on to non-toy news, actual relevant to things we're watching right now news, which is that we have the February magazine scans for Kamen Rider Revice, which give us a better look at Jack form. How are you feeling about this suit and some of its debut elements we're seeing here, Buster?
I love it, and mainly because Vice is wearing the suit.
Uh-huh.
That's really cool. And like in the one of the preview images, we see that Iki's the demon, and we even get to see that Vice gets to transform with the belt. That's super cool, and kind of the opening teased that, like with the whole like flipping dynamics thing.
It's a really nice kind of coup on things. Really flipping the series on its head, and it harkens back to the character that he's supposed to be a replacement for, Momotaro from Deno.
I was actually thinking this is more like a Kamen Rider Double Fang Joker.
That is true.
Because Philip used Fang Joker in Double, like while Shotaro used the regular Double.
Yeah.
I know you haven't finished Double, so of course
I know a lot of stuff about Double, so I'm capable of understanding that reference.
There you are. But something I'm not capable of understanding is Godzilla vs. Hedorah 5.x. Explain this.
So I believe, yes, this is a Mezco figure line. Mezco has been doing these kaiju 5-point articulation figures. They did an Ultraman and Red King set last year, which I actually saw in person recently and looked pretty tempting despite me not being into this kind of stuff. And they've now announced that their next set in the line is going to be based off of Godzilla versus Hedorah, or Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, as some of you may know it. And that's the Godzilla film that's really cheesy and is all about why pollution is bad, kids. And it looks like a pretty faithful, accurate recreation of those suit designs in a very sort of classic, almost tons of accessories with this. You get Hedorah's flying form, you get a laser effect part, and you get a bunch of little buildings, which is all a pretty tidy value for $65 in my opinion.
Yeah, this is a great value. I like this.
I'm not. I've actually never seen this movie. It's one of those movies that I do want to see at some point, as far as Godzilla films go. But like this looks like a great set in my opinion. If you're a fan of this movie or a fan of Godzilla in general, I do recommend picking this up just from the looks of it.
Yeah, I actually might watch this movie because of just so I could justify buying this.
Me too. But
Yeah.
speaking of justifying buying things, that's a weak transition, Simeon.
No,
Uh,
it's fine.
we have the first teaser trailer for Avatar Sentai Donbrothers, and
Oh wait, no, you skipped Ultraman.
did I?
Yeah, then we have Ultraman Trigger, DX Guts Hyper Key, Premium Ultraman Trigger, Giants of Chuck key set. Basically,
Oh yeah,
repackaging
that's
a
right.
set. The repackaging is set to include the Trigger Truth that was seen in the final episode, and it'll have voice lines from the character.
Yeah,
It's,
it's essentially a CSM set of trigger keys or guts hyper keys, excuse me. And there's also going to be a set based on the villains coming out, which I don't
yeah,
think was a thing in the show at all.
they weren't, but like they have a lot of there's a lot of toy exclusive guts in this line, like
Yeah.
based on past Ultraman, based on whatever they feel like stuff in the show, and like these keys are one of them. The
I
Giants of
mean,
Darkness.
I'm sure there's people who will be into this because it is a very high quality, like very worthy of being a premium Bandai set, and the Guts Hyper Keys seem like good toys. They're basically just Gaia memories, but
Yeah,
it's not something that interests me at all.
me
Probably why I
neither.
skipped it.
Let's go into the thing Twitter had a meltdown over when it's not having
Dawn
a meltdown
Brothers
about
looks
other
like a
things.
show.
All right. First off, the music, banger, good. I like the music. It is. That's usually my first thing about a Toku show. Will I like the music? I usually like most music, but just I always have fear that one Toku show will just have trash music. No, the music's still hype. And I love it what I'm seeing. We got Don Momotaro. We got like some sneak bits of some really cool looking like foot soldiers and monsters. We see the mecha from the Zenkaiger episode, so it seems like Juran will be in the show in some way. And we have the entire. I love the festival aesthetic they have with the roll call. And yes, we see the first look of the CGI Inu and Kiji brother. They look fine. It looks tolerable to me. I don't like that they're CGI, but I can tolerate it. Like they have at least good designs that they're very marketable, and I'm willing to buy figures of them if I can get.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't super into the music or the festival aesthetic. Like that kind of like super stringy Japanese music has just never really been to my taste. And same thing for the festival aesthetic. Like big part of what turned me off to Ninja initially, at least, was the kind of ninja festival aesthetic that show has. And it doesn't look as prominent here, and it's a lot more in camera than it is CGI green screen background like it was in Ninja. So it's definitely more tolerable here for me. But of course, the big thing is the CGI on the two Rangers, which looks exactly as I expected it to. It ain't great, it ain't terrible, it's fine. And I think the people who are freaking out over this really need to reevaluate their expectations level when it comes to TV level tokusatsu effects. Like, and I know there's people out there who say like, "Oh, if you can't make this look good, you shouldn't do it at all." But like, how are they ever going to push that technology forward to a point where it does look good on this budget if they don't try and do things like this?
Also, sometimes producers just want to make a CGI thing, and you don't have enough like budget or people to do puppets. So sometimes it just like it's like I don't have to like it,
Like
but I
I
can
really agree
tolerate it.
with your statement on this, where it's like I would I prefer puppets or just people in suits? Like yeah, but this is something different and new. It's Toei branching out a little bit, and I'm interested to see how it goes. And it seems fairly competent at this point, so I have no reason to be super down on it just yet. I mean, we haven't even seen these suits actually in a fight scene yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm more worried about. Like the fight, how will they be in a fight? Will they just be like, oh, they're gonna be doing their own thing in a fight? Will they like play into team dynamics? Like that's what I'm interested to see.
Yeah, one thing I really hope we do get in this show is a lot of play with those effects interacting with real people. Like, give me some Roger Rabbit shit in this show.
Yeah. And also just like yeah, just there's a lot of promise of Donbrothers. I really like the aesthetics. This is oddly this is like the next set. Like we have Geki Ranger right after the 30th anniversary doing sunglasses. Go Busters after the 35th doing sunglasses. Key Ranger kind of has sunglasses after the 40th, and now we have Donbrothers doing the sunglasses after the 45th.
You just gotta keep reminding people that Super Sentai is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only other note to really take from this teaser is, if it wasn't clear already, Don Momotaro is going to be an insufferable asshole.
And I'm here for it. Because he just looks like to be like a mixture of like a Captain Marvelous with like a bit more like hot air, like more of an ego to him. And I love egotistical heroes, so give me it. So
I
excited.
can be into it if it's in like a charming badass way, but the kind of loudmouth, overly in your face way. No, I'm trying to describe a thing. And my brain is struggling to give me words. The kind of loudmouth, in your face way that it seems like they're going for with Don Momotaro, which is very.
That could be very glitchy.
Am I? Am I really?
Yeah.
Shit. My connection says it's fine.
Well, like on my end, it's stretching out, and I don't know.
I was having internet problems this weekend.
It's still a bit stretchy, but don't know what
Weird.
sources.
I think it might just be the way your internet's receiving my signal.
Yeah.
Because like everything looks fine on my end. I don't know. We'll see what happens when Craig records this. If my audio's shit, leave a comment.
Yeah. Yeah, Donbrothers. It looks fine. Very excited for the that fine looks good. Really excited for the press conference and the day after this episode comes out. So yeah.
Oh fuck.
Or maybe on the day, depending on how time zones work. We'll see.
But let's see. Also, just we don't usually comment on news about this kind of stuff, but I did happen to catch it as I was getting ready for the show. We have our first images of the Dino Fury 12-inch Green Ranger figure, which looks very much like those tall, lanky Nutcracker style figures.
I actually have one of Roboblaze or Enter for Beast Morpher / Go Busters, and it's very.
What are you telling me about that?
Oh, I got it like a long while ago. Yeah, I like it. Like I like these kind of figures, nice like shelf displays, like Megazord height. I'll be willing to get this if I can find it.
Okay. And also in toy announcements, Super 7 has been doing a lot of announcements this week about various brands they have acquired or are already in control of. And one of the announcements we just got today is that they are going to be doing a figure of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dragonzord in their Super Cyborg lineup of figures, which, for those of you who are not aware, is basically cross-section action figures. It's a non-articulated figurine of the robotic character, but a large portion of the front is actually transparent, and you can see what would be the inner workings all painted up and looking cool and intricate. It's not particularly an aesthetic I care for, so I'm not very interested in this, but I know some people who like go super crazy for that kind of stuff, so there will be people interested in this, I don't doubt.
It just like I don't really see the need for it when we have the upcoming Lightning, most likely due to leaks, Lightning Ascension thing, Dragonzord. That's what I was thinking of.
Well, that's meant to be like a super articulated collector transforming thing. It's going for a different market.
Okay, fair. And finally, we have just packaging. Very nice packaging for Donbrothers.
Yeah, the fucking toys. Look at the boxes the toys come in. All the DX Henshin series. Oh my god, Shishi Red is back on the box this year. That must mean they don't hate Lucky anymore, because him not being on the box last year meant they hated him for some reason.
No, it wasn't. Wait, what?
Shishi Red wasn't on the box for the Geartlinger, and everybody lost their shit. They were like, oh my god, Toei hates Lucky.
Oh, no, I think that was a different thing. I think that was like a Donbrothers, like they just fixed it. Oh, whatever. We'll just
I
get to
could
new
have sworn that was
episodes.
a thing, but whatever. I don't really care. Let's talk about some episodes, Buster.
Yeah. Sorry, I got pizza in, and so I'm kind of rushing to finish this episode.
Ah,
No, I won't rush too much. Though. Kamen Revice, episode 21. Laying down my life to entrust my hopes. I got spoiled on this episode, but it was good.
it's okay.
It was good. I would have liked it way more if I wasn't spoiled on it, because this episode kind of relies on a lot of reveals and twists. Like basically, like we're setting up. This is like what we thought the end of quarter one was gonna be.
It's very Gaim-esque in that way of like there's a lot of shit in this episode that like I worry will not be as impactful upon a rewatch.
Yeah, I could see that.
Especially
Although
Hiromi's death scene, which I know there's people who got really broken up about it. I saw you all on Twitter. Good for you, but to me, that was like the most limp-wristed death scene I've ever seen in Kamen Rider.
yeah, that just kind of adds to. Oh wait, he's not dead. It's just more like I'll be gone for a bit. Still
Mm.
though, it was cool to see Oleta, Okata,
Ultica?
I keep forgetting how to pronounce this every week. Ultica using the demon's driver and just being a total boss, and even doing some Kaiksa movements with his suit acting. That was really cool. Big fan of that. We finally got a villainous commentator in the show, and you didn't even have to make a new suit. Very, very good use of resources.
Also, frickin' the director man and George are totally just Darth Sidious and Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah. Like what was George doing in this episode? I kind of forgot.
He was like kind of mislead. He was doing a bunch of fucky shit, basically. He was doing that
Yeah.
again in this episode where he's like, "No, look, we're the good guys. We totally have everything in command." And Hiromi goes to resign, and he's like, "Oh, you want to punch me? You should totally punch me. Come on, punch me, punch me, punch me.
Yeah.
Do it, pussy." And Hiromi just can't do it because Hiromi's too
Yeah.
much of a good boy.
Yeah. But Hiromi did get to like good words, like, and while I don't think this is a good way to take him out of the story for a while. I'm very much intrigued to see how they're gonna like bring him back and like what he's gonna do when he's back.
Yeah, because we didn't even see a body, and like I feel like a lot of his role is now going to be delegated to Daiji,
Yeah.
because Daiji's still their inside man at Phoenix, and I do like that he has a comment about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like at some
Maybe
point
they'll give
Hiromi's
Dodgy something to do because he hasn't really had anything to do since the end of the quarter one.
That's true, but also
Yeah.
like I feel like Hiromi's going to come back and have a new driver or something and be a big badass at some point. I feel like that's happening.
Well,
And then, of course, there's also the other thing in this episode, which is we finally find out what's at the bottom of the staircase. And, ladies and gentlemen, it's the weekend.
oh my god, I just realized. Oh, that's what the joke on Twitter was about.
How did you not realize that?
I was like, okay, there's a cute joke about it's the weekday though. So yeah, the Weekend are an organization that wanted to take down Phoenix, but well, we're right back to faction wars.
And one of them
was
is Papa Ninja, so that's really weird and disorientating.
I was like, I was wondering where you were from. Sorry, alarm.
Okay.
But like that was really disorienting because like I think I know you from somewhere. I was like, oh, he's from the Ninja. Now that you mention it, and it's like we got all these weird youths, and it's like, it's like we.
Oh, are those people like an actual family that started this organization, or are they just free random fuckers who happen to be able to pass for a family?
I think they're just the highest ranking of the people because it seems like a Nanba like from my theories like they're a Nanba children's situation. Like,
Yeah.
good old
Let's hope
cult
they're
plots.
handled better than that shit.
It wasn't. It was an interesting like side thing, but it could have been like more integral to the story. I said as a Build fan, by the way.
I know.
Yeah, everyone knows that. But like, anyway, yeah. So there's some good stuff. I think, as you said, a lot of this impact is gonna be like, will they follow up on this cool way? Although, like, I'm very interested. I don't know. I'm very interested to see what the Weekend will exactly the story, like, because we haven't
He's
really
gonna
got
get
much.
blinded by the lights.
Yeah. The lights.
Also, hey, another The Weeknd reference. Their dad is heartless.
Oh yeah. That's a Kingdom Hearts reference, you fool. we kind of like we were talking about like, oh yeah, the dad. We already knew the dad didn't have heart. Now it's basically confirmed. Yeah, the dad is Gifu in some way, basically making all the Igarashi children of the devil.
Ooh, theming, symbolism. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Wonder how Vice will play into all of this. Probably just like inner demon stuff. Uh,
Yeah. Um, Also, let's get Kagero back out again. Let's do some stuff with Kagero, damn it.
yeah. Although from preview of next episode, it seems like Daji's taking another backseat. Come on, give him stuff to do already. You know.
Punish Daiji. A writer denied his focus episodes.
Yeah. At least like Sakura keeps getting to do. What is this show when the female writer gets to do more than the secondary?
Oh
That,
my god, we solved sexism.
yeah, we solved it, fellas. Yeah.
Uh,
Be a
no,
good
it's a good
episode.
episode. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Vac, you listened to some character songs for Zenkaiger. How were they?
Yeah, the Zenkaiger character song album came out this week and is I mean we got a couple of them in not this week's episode but the week before. And like those are the good ones of the ones for the main team, and then the Gold Strugo ones are pretty good too. But there's some real like, ooh, you just threw this together and this actor can't actually sing that well, huh? Ones in
Most
there.
character songs. Like that's most character songs. Like you'll get like a really good one. Like I'd really recommend tracking down Lupin Blues character
Yeah.
song. That's a really good one. Like
Yeah.
that actor
Also, weirdly, oh god, what's his number? Because they go by numbers, not colors in that season. Tokyo, um,
just say the color.
yeah, Tokyo Green.
To-
Weirdly, he's like a nothing character in that show, except for two focus episodes, which go nowhere. His character song is amazing. I highly recommend looking it up.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, that's a Sentai character song album. You'll probably if you like it, you'll like it. If you don't, well,
It was a
side cut.
fun listen, but I doubt I'll go back to any of them except for maybe the Gold Stroker one.
Yeah, they're just great characters in general. So like, I feel like and also
Yeah.
they're probably like Zox is like his actor's an actual singer. He actually sings some of his inserts. So
Yeah. Though
uh,
weirdly, I liked the Flint and SD Boys one better because there were two separate ones. There was one just for Zox and then one for Flint and the SD Boy.
yeah, but probably because it gives them like they haven't really had an arc throughout the season, so it probably like gives them a little more background. I mean, we
Mhm.
don't have. I don't think Vac listened to any translation.
No, I just listened to the songs as MP3s, and I was like,
Yeah,
I vibe with this. I do not vibe with that.
yeah. Speaking of vibes, I guess Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger episode 46, Divine Intervention. That'll leave you gigging. Yeah, so Stacy's God, or at least God, Gigging is God.
Gage is
Basically, we get,
God and he's possessing Stacy,
and
I
other
think.
people.
Or there just is a god in the show and it was possessing Gage for a long time.
Basically, Zenkaiger just turned into Shimigami Tensei. We gotta attack and dethrone God.
God fucking.
Look, someone had to make the joke at some point.
That's
Yeah.
fair. But no, this episode was a lot of fun because it's the what's the word? It's the obligatory. We got to burn through a bunch of monster suits in one episode that every season has these days, and I
Yeah.
usually enjoy those because they feel very different from the rest of the show in that there is so much happening, and it's like you're just getting the best parts of a bunch of episodes that should have been but weren't.
Yeah, like the best, like you just described it. Like I was gonna call it the best of Zenkaiger, like compilation.
Mhm.
With like you got a little mystery, you got some jokes, you got some good gags, you got some very good visual comedy.
You get the
Being,
Zenkai red suit.
yeah, being used as a carrot, which I don't get that. Are carrots red in Japan?
It's probably the closest they had to an orange suit.
Yeah, and if you're like, you know
Which,
what, we
by the
still,
way, that was fucking crazy for me to find out that like carrots are apparently the most hated food by children in Japan. Because over here it's broccoli, and it's like,
yeah,
wow, both the most hated food in these countries are foods I liked growing up. I was big into carrots and broccoli growing up, but apparently I was a crazy person.
yeah. Probably explains Big Force sucks.
Looks at the camera like he's on The Office.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Nice mystery. I really like when like the quote unquote gods are possessing like Vroom and Galon, really let their voice actors flex a bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
And getting to see the kind of like I guess pre-planning for what's going to become of Stacy by the end of the finale, provided he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Had you not considered that possibility yet, that he might die in the
I
finale?
know. I figured he's gonna die.
Hmm.
Like I'm just
Okay.
like, you know what? Like I just figured, okay, you know what? He's gonna pull like a either he's gonna die last stand, and then like the final episode they'll be like for Stacy, or they're gonna do another Jetman gag, except serious.
Well, it seems like they're going into a crazy final episode mode next week, even though there's 5 episodes left, I think.
We have an entire month's worth of episodes left. Let me look. We got 1, 2, 3. I think we got 3 left before. Cause looking at this, yeah, we got 3 episodes before. We move into the Donbrothers.
Yeah, 3
Barring
episodes
no.
till the new dawn of Super Sentai.
Yeah. For better or worse, whoever asks, forever you're asking. But yeah, very much a setup episode, but a good setup episode. Superhero Time was good this week. You know, honestly, it's very much a week of setup for like what's gonna come in the future.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
And in case anyone wants to future or is going to leave a comment, the mystery didn't get subbed this week, so that's why we're not talking about it.
Yeah, it seems like it'll be like a High School Heroes situation.
Mhm.
We're just like, well, we'll talk about it when it's subbed.
Yep.
Well, you know, it shouldn't be that much of a priority. It's side content. Like,
Mhm.
you know. Anyway, Vac, you got Blu-rays for once.
Yes. I'm making it a bit of a mission this year to pick up more Tokusatsu merch than I have in the last couple, just because if my channel's gonna be more Tokusatsu oriented, I need to have a background that kind of represents that. So I need Toku stuff for my shelves. And yeah, the first thing I chose to get for that, because I pre-ordered the 01s or Blu-rays way in advance of this decision. So the first thing I did is I went on Amazon and I bought myself the Ultra Q DVDs from Lord Bezos and or Blu-rays. I don't know why I still default to DVDs like a boomer defaulting to
No, it's fine.
VHS.
I feel that way. I feel that way.
Hmm. And I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch any of the discs yet, but I have seen Ultra Q all the way through before buying these, and I like the set. It's pretty good. Comes in a nice slipcase. There's a booklet and pretty solid art all around the packaging. I like when that kind of care is put into my Blu-rays, and it doesn't feel like they just slap the same image on every single surface.
Yeah, the Ultraman Blu-rays, I have like multiple of them, including the original series one. Not Ultra
Yeah.
Q, just like Ultraman 1966. They are very well done. They got little pamphlets. The Showa one specifically has behind the scenes information. It's very
Ooh.
nice.
I
And they
probably
go,
will be getting that next, so I'll look forward to watching that.
yeah. Not on the pamphlet, and you read the behind the.
So the
Yeah.
ska.
Yeah. But yeah, Ultraman Blu-rays are great buys, most of the time. Usually the only thing that are usually faulty are, like, depending on which series you get, the subs might be off. You know, but they're still good buys, you know, they're still readable. I still recommend picking them up if you so choose.
And it sure is better than nothing.
Yeah. Better than, one series and a bunch of them streaming. Well, I like to have my physical media, fellas. I mean, hey, you know, streaming's still good, it's just, you know, I want the physical option, man. Especially these. Anyway, I did a bunch of Toku stuff this week. Let's start off with a half Toku adjacent project. I finally sat down and watched SSS Dinozon and did a video on it. I won't bore you too much because I already did a video, but I think I like it more than Gridman, honestly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either show.
Yeah. I feel like Dinozon, like, through, like, just simple tweaks and just making everyone part of the plot in some way, it does the themes better in some way, but, like, you know, Gridman still has its own unique flavor. They're both great shows. It's just I prefer Dinozon in general. You know, and I just they tone down on the over sexualizing teenage girls. Thank God, that's always a plus.
Fair enough.
And yeah, what do you mean fair? Oh, we're not even into that. But yeah, Dinozon, good show. Recommended. Also listen to an episode of the dub. The dub's good. Dub's good.
Okay.
For the sub, but like I just watched most of the show in sub. Anyway. Also, because I hate myself, I'm doing another Every Power Rangers episode review thing sooner than
Buster,
later.
do you want to burn out again? Is this like a plan?
Yeah. I'm gonna take it much slower this time.
Okay.
So like gonna do like a few episodes a week or so. Like gonna take it like easier. And I actually generally enjoy the shows that I'm watching this time, like Zeo, because I started Zeo. I don't dislike it. I thought I was gonna be like, oh, it's just gonna be MMPR 2. Yeah, it has that kind of vibe, but like, there's still improvements to it.
It's a refined MMPR.
Yeah, everyone still dresses like they're in a Christian Sunday school, but I have to accept that.
Like I get it, but I also find that weirdly charming, just because like
Yeah.
it takes me back to shit I used to watch when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I can totally understand that. I was just mostly watch 2000 stuff, so it's a tad off putting for me.
Mhm.
It's
But
just
I feel
mostly
like that's also part of the reason why I like Kuga so much, is it kind of has that vibe.
Kuga has way more better fits to it. We're not getting
Fair
that. The
enough.
fits discussion will be for a
This
later
is not the
date.
fashion cast.
Yeah, I feel like that's the second joke we made about fashion cast. Yeah, Zio solid. Very good action, like original action. That surprised me. Music is also like this might be my favorite Power Ranger soundtrack.
Yeah, because it's the first one that's not just Ron Wasserman messing around on a synthesizer. You also have Jeremy Sweeney, I think his name is, getting in there and helping out a bit.
Yeah. And also just that there's just this operatic like oh to it, and it's just like whoa. I feel it makes everything just escalate. It just feels like even if I'm watching like the stupidest like baby chase episode, which is actually my favorite episode so far, it's just like well, it just feels so exciting and grand, and it's like oh, is this what it felt like to watch MMPR in the '90s when it first aired? It was like
Yeah.
it's good show. It's on YouTube. Watch it. I don't know. I'm not your mother. But also because it was my birthday, since finally got the Dino Charge DVD to complete my Neosaban DVD collection, which I have for some reason.
It's a living.
Yeah, you do what you can. It was pretty much what I expected. Also got the Shout Factory Ninja Storm DVD because that is currently my favorite season of the show. We'll see how that changes when I rewatch everything. I just really like Ninja Storm. It was one of my childhood favorites and my current favorite, so wanted to get that on DVD for my birthday.
Nice. All right. Well, unless you have any more detail to go into with those, I think that does bring us
Yeah, I
to
haven't watched them yet, like the DVDs themselves, because I'm busy and want to do other things.
fair enough. But yeah, that is the end of our topic list for this week, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Buster, why don't you tell the good people where they can find you on the interwebs?
I'm Buster Corp. I do videos on the internet. I recently kinda came back with an SSS Dinozon review. Gonna be taking videos a tad slower from now on, but still will. I'm still gonna do videos and stuff. We're close to 800 subs. Maybe get me there. And if you like my stuff and you want to see me blab and vent, go to @BusterBluey3 on Twitter. I'm insufferable. Don't follow me.
And I am the Vacuuminator. I make videos about toys and tokusatsu and things. You can find me at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter, tweeting and twatting about every little thing at the Vacuuminator, and on Instagram, posting photos of action figures and my dogs at _Vacuuminator. But folks, that is inevitably going to do it for this week in Tokusatsu. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you back here next week when we find out whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.